Hello, hello. Drop a comment in. I see one, it tells me one person has joined. Vlastic. Are you familiar with Riot? Like the mining company? What's up, Captain Trader? Be sure to hit the like button if you haven't. The mining company, I mean, I don't know that much about them. I think they're publicly traded and they mine Bitcoin. Other than that, I really don't know that much about them. We got about 5 people on here right now. I'll give another minute or two. Just go ahead and drop your questions in the chat, and we will we'll just keep rolling. Thank you for the likes coming in. All right, bring some questions at me. I'll be very clear. It seems to me that we are in an uptrend. Markets, they move in waves. Always have, always will. But with the underling, that the overall market over time moves up and to the right. It's just not a straight line. Oh my God, the world's burning. Oh my God, yes, I'm a genius. Oh my God, the world's burning. Oh yes, I'm a genius, I'm so rich. Oh my God, the world's burning. It over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And right now, we seem to be in an uptrend. And there's a lot of good reasons for that. What do I think of Render Coin? Not something I'd buy. I think they're a good business, but I haven't checked in on them in a while. Did any of the bull market top indicators tell us anything? I don't see any bull market top indicators signaling anything right now, not at all. I mean, some things that I look at for top indicators, which is getting into overextended, very overbought territory, will be things like the Fear and Greed Index. We are sitting in greed, but I'm not really worried about that until we get into extreme greed. The Bitcoin dominance chart is starting to roll over a little bit. We want to see if that starts coming down a lot more, then that's something that makes me think, oh, now things are getting too frothy. Stablecoin dominance hasn't really rolled over that much yet. When that starts going way down, coming down to a particular range, then it's like, okay, the market's pretty overextended. Once I see something like others and meme coin indexes go up a certain amount, which would be quite a ways from here, when all those things line up, then I'm like, we are much closer to a top than we're close to a top. And none of that stuff is going off right now at all. Like not even debatably. It is not in no way going off into the alarm zone at all. That stuff usually takes, it depends. But I'd say when an uptrend starts, which we really started an uptrend, technically we really started an uptrend in April when Trump pulled back on the tariffs. Pulled back on them. We saw the final dump during Liberation Day. And then once he, a few days later, was like, oh, well, we're going to delay everything 90 days. It's like, oh, and then the markets just took off. And the moment he did that, I bought big because I'm like, all right, this is going to be complete relief of fears and we're going to go up. And we went up very fast and then we came back down as a corrective measure, and now we're on our way back up. So the uptrend really started in about early mid-April. So May, June, July, been about 3 months, okay? So we could be getting close to a top, but none of the indicators are showing it. When they hit, even though we've been in an uptrend for 3 months, right? And the indicators aren't showing that we're at a top or near a top. But with that being said, in a matter of a week or two, those indicators could rocket up and really start flashing warning signals. And prices would probably rocket up also. But we're just not seeing anything like that. Bitcoin's going up. ETH is at 3,400, right? Solana's at like 175. Like those are the main altcoin indicators, coins, right? And so like they're not even near their highs for this cyclical bull market, let alone their all-time highs. So it's just like the market is definitely not over-frothed. That's the way I see it anyways. So you just need to relax and just let it go and realize that this is a long game. Let me ask you guys quick. Hit the like. There's 10 of you on here, 5 likes. If you could all hit the like button, that'd be awesome. Let me ask you real quick. Are you in this for the long game, or are you just here for this short game and you just want to get rich quick? Obviously, we'd like to all just make a fuckload of money as quick as possible, but that's not reality, right? This isn't 2017 bull market. This isn't 21. This is the 2025 bull market. It's harder to make money in this. It's harder to make as much money in this market as it was as 21 and 17. Put a 1 in the chat though, if you're here for the long game. If you're here for the long game of Bitcoin and crypto. Plastic says 1, Captain Trader says 1. Clay says 1. Yeah, we're here for the longer game because, like, what are you going to do? Throw it in the S&P 500, or would you rather be in Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's going to outperform the S&P. Bitcoin's going to outperform everything. Steve says 1. Do I think VeChain can reach $1? I don't. VeChain's a pretty dino coin. I bought VeChain when it was brand new, and I believe it was 2018. And I made a good amount of money on it in 2021, and then I'm just done. I'm never going to touch it again. You know, its use case made sense, still kind of makes sense, but there's just nothing real sexy about it. So I just don't see the market shoveling money at it, which is what it really takes, is for the market to just completely, when we see prices go, whoo, it's because the market is incredibly beyond all even bit of logic overvaluing them. And they're just not. So how low is your prediction before all-time high? You know, Clay, I'm going to tell you this, man. Don't ask anybody predictions. It's not going to help you. It's going to do you much more harm than good. I have no idea. Here's my prediction. Higher. That's all I got. That's the only thing I can say with a reasonable degree of certainty is higher. I have no idea where. And I'm not going to try to look for a number because what will happen, Clay, listen, and anyone else that's wondering about predictions and how high is it going to go, I'm going to tell you right now, throw that away. Never ask that question again. Never even think about it again. Instead, think, how can I know when we're at a high? That's the thing that can actually be determined with a higher degree of confidence. And that's looking at things like Bitcoin dominance, stablecoin dominance, others dominance, which is like the altcoin market, meme coin dominance, fear and greed index. When you start looking at these different indicators and metrics that go together, it lets you know when it's time to get the fuck out, and it lets you know when it's time to get the fuck in. I don't think about predictions because I have no idea. I've done that in the past because I've been in crypto over 8 years now. And predictions have done nothing but lead me and everyone I've ever known that focused on predictions to get fucked. Because you start thinking, it's got to get to this number. It's got to get to this number. Like in 2021, everyone's sitting there thinking Bitcoin's got to get to 100,000. It's got to get to 100,000, so no one wants to sell. Even though all the other indicators are flashing, this is the top. It is way riskier to be in Bitcoin and crypto than out. And that's the things you want to be able to gauge, right? You want to be able to look at real metrics and real data to let you know when it's way riskier to be in Bitcoin and crypto than out. And you also want to know when it's way riskier to be out of Bitcoin and crypto than in, right? When Bitcoin's at 16,000, all the metrics, all the data is screaming, you got to get the fuck in. It's way riskier to be out because, maybe it goes down a bit more. Who cares? Because you know goddamn well, in a reasonable amount of time, it's going to be worth more than 16,000 fucking dollars, even if it does go lower. But most people I was around, right, doing live streams like every fucking day, trying to talk people into sense, and almost no one would listen. They wanted to, but they're just too scared because they don't understand this stuff, and that's okay. I get it. But what's not okay is to not learn from mistakes. Is not even from mistakes, just learn from experience. I'm not going to label them as mistakes, just experience. What are your top holdings? For this particular phase of the up leg, I'm pretty risk on. So I would say my largest bags are pretty risky. And it doesn't mean you should buy them at all. You shouldn't go touch them. Because I've been in them from lower prices. And there's things that I've tracked for a very long time and I have a lot of conviction on, not based on emotion, based on tracking all kinds of metrics and data and paying attention on a very regular basis for a long period of time. So most of my allocation is sitting in 2 meme coins. Multiple things, but most of my capital that I have deployed is sitting in 2 meme coins that I feel have extremely strong, battle-tested communities. And I say that because I watch the metrics, I watch the holder counts, I watch the social metrics. I'm paying attention to everything all the time. And 2 that I feel give me the best risk reward opportunity that I'm aware of. Could there be better? Maybe, but I haven't tracked the other ones as long as I've tracked these, so I'm not as informed. Do you guys want to know what 2 I'm in? You should not go buy them. You should not. Because you're not going to have my conviction or understanding into these, but there's probably things that you have been following. Put a 1 in the chat if you want me to tell you the 2 meme coins I'm in that make up the majority of my deployed capital. Remember, I got in them at much lower prices, and I've been tracking them for a very long time. Their entire existence, actually. I'm 10% profit on ETH right now. Would it be smart to take profit now? I can't tell you what to do. 10%. I can say that the SP 500, 10 to 12% is what they hope to make a year, is what the average is a year. So if you made that in like a few days, maybe that's good. But I don't know if you're a trader. If you're wondering, is ETH going to go higher? I think ETH is going to make I think there's a reasonable chance that ETH makes an all-time high this year. So I think your 10% is looking, but I don't know. Maybe you're a trader. I don't know. Exactly. Hopefully 180K in 26, but who knows? We could see 180K this year, but I don't know. A couple 1s came in. So the two coins that I'm mostly deployed in, and again, you shouldn't go buy them, right? Because they're not at the prices I bought at. Even though I think they will go much higher, but you're not going to be able to handle the shakeouts and this and that because there's going to be a new project to you. I'm in Wolf, which is one of the members of the Boys Club. Put a 1 in the chat if you're familiar with the Boys Club. You know, Pepe, Brett, Andy, Landwolf. I don't rep a gang. I think gangs are stupid as shit. All kinds of gangs, whether they're violent or not. Violent are extra dumb. Wolf Hunt. Come on now, Lynn. There's only one land wolf at this point. There was a whole slew of them, and there's clearly a winner. Clearly a winner. And it makes all the sense in the world. And I was saying it from very early on. I'm like, this is the one, because of this, because of this, because of this, and none of the others have this, which largely was the contract address. That correlation. But the Boys Club, Pepe, Brett, Andy, Landwolf, right? So all I really got to ask myself is ETH going to go higher in this bull market? Yes. Well, Pepe's on ETH. Pepe is the second biggest meme on Ethereum, and I think it will become the first. So if ETH goes up, right, Pepe then is Ethereum beta, meaning that beta is going to outperform the alpha, which is ETH. So if ETH does a 2x, Pepe is probably going to do like a 4x to 6x. And interestingly about the Boys Club is that Brett, Andy, and Landwolf are actually Pepe beta. So they're like leveraged Pepe. If Pepe is leveraged Ethereum, then the rest of the Boys Club are different levels of leverage on Pepe without risk of getting liquidated. So Land Wolf is all the way down at the highest leverage on Pepe. So I'm down at Land Wolf, and I've been following it for a while, and nothing has made me more money in this bull market that we've been in since January of 2023 than Land Wolf. Nothing has made me more money than the Boys Club, particularly Land Wolf. I've been following it since the beginning. I've been tracking. I understand how it moves. I understand how the community thinks and works. I watch the follower counts or the holder counts. I see all of it just growing. And so every time it comes to certain levels, which I chart, I'm like, oh, buy time. So I bought a good amount of Land Wolf down at in April, down at the twos, $20 million market cap. And then I bought more in the $30, $40 million market cap, and I just did a $54 million market cap a day or two ago. And now it's at like $70 million market cap. And it was at $300 million market cap in November, December, January, somewhere in there. So I think ETH's going to make new all-time highs in a reasonable amount of time, I think by the end of the year, which means Pepe's going to make new all-time highs, which means the Boys Club, all of them are going to make new all-time highs. So Land Wolf. The other one that I'm in is MLG. This is on Solana, Major League Gaming. I've been tracking it since basically it came into existence. And it's been through some big up and downs, but some big ups and some big downs. This particular drawdown was like 98%, if not 99%. It was like 98% drawdown, because there was all kinds of bullshit that happened from influencers inside of it. But the community really stayed the same. It just didn't get fucked over by, your not Aiden Ross really, but like Thread Guy and FaZe Banks and stuff like that. But anyways, I've watched the holder count hold. I've watched top holders acquire more. I've watched the social metrics increase, even in the darkest of times. And it makes sense because gamers is such a big community, and so much of it just makes so much sense. And MLG is actually probably my top holding. I probably have more of it than Land Wolf, at least in current value, because I bought it down lower and it's come up more from its bottom is really why. Land Wolf from its bottom has done about a 3.5x, where at its peak so far, MLG did almost a 5x, almost a 6x, excuse me, about a 6x. So, and right now it's at from its low about a 3 to 4x, somewhere in there. And Land Wolf's actually about a 3.5x too. So those are the ones that I have most of my capital in, because I'm taking risk on. I got to buy at dirt basement prices that lined in so many ways. Practically inside trading. With the smiley face, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Any thoughts on Farwa? I don't know anything about Farwa. If you don't follow me yet, be sure to hit the follow button, hit the like button if you haven't, and if you're super cool, hit that share button. I don't know what Farwa is. Drop another question in the comments. Let's see, what are you guys thinking? I'm gonna keep repeating myself. It seems pretty clear we're in an uptrend. It doesn't mean we go straight up, no down days. Hell, it doesn't even mean no down weeks. But it seems to me that we are clearly in an uptrend. We've been in an uptrend for Bitcoin, especially since early April. And now it seems altcoins are picking up the pace in terms of gaining ground, getting more capital. I think it's really led a lot of the ways by these crypto bills that are going through, and the creation of these treasury companies, in particular the Ethereum treasury companies, bringing a lot of money and attracting money into the Ethereum ecosystem, and really in lots of ways, therefore, altcoins, because Solana has a staking ETF also, and there will probably be a regular Solana ETF, there will definitely be, and there will probably be a regular XRP ETF, and I don't really like XRP. I'm just saying there probably will be. And then I think there'll start to be some kind of indexes. The road looks pretty clear for a while. And when we see certain metrics like Bitcoin dominance dropping, which is the percentage Bitcoin makes up of the total crypto market cap, when that starts very noticeably dropping, like right now, it peaked so far, I think around like 66%, somewhere around there. I think right now maybe it's at like 63%. So when Bitcoin dominance starts getting to like the mid-low 50s, that to me would be a signal to really be alert. And when we see stablecoin dominance, which is the amount that stablecoins make up of the total crypto market cap, I have to look closer at the chart to see what percentage I'd be looking for, but it's still well above its range lows. And then others, which is really the chart for all the altcoins combined outside of the top 10, which is like the real altcoin market, that has barely moved off the bottom. So a lot of room left to go up there. When those things start aligning and showing that, holy crap, like things are way twisted, because the reality of the world should be that Bitcoin dominance is high. Bitcoin makes up most of the market cap and a lot of money's in stables. But when money starts leaving Bitcoin and leaving stablecoins to go into altcoins, that's a version of an altcoin season. Right? It may not be the altcoin season you're looking for where it's just way out of whack, but that shouldn't be happening. That's just a very risky moment in time. And when that happens, that's altcoin season. That's when things really start pumping. That's when the most money is made. Potential money is made. Almost no one makes money though, because almost no one actually locks in the goddamn profit. And I've been through this too many times to not repeat that over and over and over to you. Which one do you prefer, Bitcoin Trust or holding in a wallet? Holding in a wallet, no doubt about it. Doesn't mean that's right for you. Doesn't mean that's right for you. But for me, I don't want anyone else holding my Bitcoin. I'm very experienced with a hardware wallet, not that they're hard to use. I would rather be holding my own Bitcoin. I mean, that's why it was intended. I just don't want anyone else holding my Bitcoin because they can fuck it up. As trustworthy and reliable as they seem. If anyone's going to fuck up, it's going to be me because I can at least live with that. And you know, what are you going to do? You know, if I want to take my Bitcoin with me, it can go with me anywhere in the world. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365.25 days a year. Yeah, hope that answers that. New RWA launched by Abu Dhabi billionaire. Then I wouldn't touch it at all. That makes me feel super sketchy. Because why would an Abu Dhabi billionaire want your money? Otherwise, I mean, not want your money, like need your money. So it just smells funny to me. And there's so many RWAs already, like that wouldn't, I'd be more into buying into I don't know, Abu Dhabi billionaire. That just doesn't sound good to me. That sounds very suspect. That low trustworthy score based on the very little I know about it, which is what you just told me. But I think it's safe to assume things are scams until they prove otherwise. Like it's safe to assume they're guilty until they prove themselves to be innocent in crypto. You know what I mean? All right, drop some other questions and comments in here. Hit the like button if you haven't. We got 11 people on here. We've had way more than that on here over the course of the stream, but yet we only have 7 likes. Please hit the like button. It's good karma. It's good to be a giver instead of just a taker. You can give a like and make yourself a giver. All right, drop some more questions or comments in here. I'll be on here for a little bit longer. I'm going to be doing more streams from YouTube. Like I told you on TikTok, like I haven't done many streams this year at all. I've done like, I probably count on one hand how many streams I've done this year because like they hate crypto content and they constantly flag me for talking about crypto and bring me this close to banning my account. And they just shut down my last stream I did last week. Shut it down in the middle of it because I was talking about crypto and I'm like, and their automated bots or whatever just flag me all the time and like, you have a strike now against your account. And I'm like, why? because of frauds and scams. That's how they always label it. And I'm like, I have to move. I have to diversify. When do you know when to rebalance your portfolio or store your profit in gold? Well, none of those are very answerable. Like I never move into gold. I move to cash, yield-bearing stablecoin really. When I'm not in crypto coins, I move to stable coins where I get nice yield. I'm been thinking about putting together a course teaching how to use all the different aspects of DeFi to show you all of that. Put a 1 in the chat if you'd be interested in finally learning how to use DeFi, right? Where you can get just passive yield on your stable coins, passive yield on your other crypto coins, do all kinds of fancy, awesome stuff. Put a 1 in the chat if you'd be interested in finally learning how to do more of that stuff. Oh, ones came flooding in. Because it's a lot of work for me to like do it. So, I mean, right off the bat, you guys are throwing the ones in. So, I have 11 people, 4 of you putting a 1, probably more than 4 of you would want that. Yeah, I'll start putting that together. Are there other crypto content creators you like? Crypto content creators I like. I mean, I like Alex Becker because he's just very entertaining. It's not very useful, but he's just very entertaining. I've known him for a long time, like before anything was ever in crypto, because he's an online business guy, and so we've been in the same like realms for over a decade. So I've always liked him. And then all of a sudden one day he was doing crypto stuff. I'm like, oh, AB's doing crypto stuff? That's awesome. We're a lot alike. I like him. But not that it's very valuable, his content, in my opinion, but it's very entertaining. The people I more listen to are like, they're not even necessarily crypto people. They're like macro market people and charting people and economic people. Like Lynn Alden is great. I like Gareth Soloway, but these aren't crypto people really. They're economic, macro, charting, data-based people. They're not like, like Gareth and Lynn have Bitcoin, but they're more than that. So, because I'm always trying to gauge what's going on in the overall markets. I like Adam Taggart. He has a channel called Thoughtful Money. Cool, chill guy. He talks to a wide array of people in the markets of all kinds of different stuff, from real estate to crypto to stocks to bonds to all money managers to everything. I like his channel. It's just nice and chill, But I don't really like listen to. I don't really listen to other crypto people because I don't want. For one, most crypto content is very hypey and it's meant to get views. I'm just to be straight. Although I do like Benjamin Cowan. He's straight up a crypto guy, but he's a very plain, boring ass, data-based person. I do like Benjamin Cowan. His channel is into the cryptoverse. You probably know who he is, but he's very boring, very data-based, probably over the head of a lot of people, but I do like him though. But again, I feel like he's just a data guy. But most crypto content by far is just meant to get clicks and views. And I'm no stranger. Like I've had catchy headlines and catchy content and stuff like that. But I do a lot of these live streams, and I'm none of that on here. You know what I mean? I sit here and I just talk, answer questions, show charts, and in my opinion, I'm very boring. I try to be a little entertaining here and there, but I don't know. I'm for who I'm for. Look good, unbiased opinions. It's hard. There's always going to be bias. Like my opinions are going to have bias, right? I have a lot of land wolf. I'm going to be biased towards the boys club. I have a good reason for it, but at the end of the day, none of us can completely avoid bias. Any words you can say about XRP and its current run? I have more of a question. If you were completely out of the market, and you had, I don't know, $10,000 that you wanted to deploy into the crypto market, how much of it would you put into XRP at this price? Or would you put all of it in other things with maybe more upside? Like, what would you do? For me, I wouldn't even consider putting a penny into XRP at these prices. Because what? Maybe it doubles, which brings it to like a $300 billion coin. Do you understand what companies in the world are like $300 billion? And XRP has, do you even know what XRP's revenue is? Dog shit. Do you know how many people actually use XRP? Very few. A lot of coin holders, a lot of XRP army, but they don't put much of the money isn't being spent there. It's not getting used. It never has been. The valuation of even where it's at right now, even for crypto, is ludicrous. In what world is XRP worth more than Solana? Right now, it's valued at double the market cap of Solana. Guess what chain in all of crypto generates the most revenue? Solana. And it's not by a little bit. It's by a fucking country-ass mile. Solana's undervalued, in my opinion. So is ETH, for different reasons, even though ETH generates less revenue, even combined with its layer 2s. ETH plus all of its layer 2s, like Base, ZK Sync, Linea, all those layer 2s plus Ethereum network, still generates a lot less revenue than Solana chain. Solana chain generates the most revenue of all chains in crypto. As a matter of fact, you could add up many chains altogether before you got to the revenue Solana generates. I think Solana is undervalued. I think ETH is undervalued too, though. Again, like I said, for different reasons. I think it has a lot of big capital coming into it. And there's a big move to acquire Ethereum by these institutions and treasury companies, so the demand for the Ethereum coin and stake in the Ethereum network is really rising. So that's not necessarily, ETH should still be worth more than Solana because of all that type of stuff. And it is still more secure than Solana, than anything other than Bitcoin. But with that being said, Solana is pretty fucking secure, but ETH is more secure than that. So there's a lot of things that go into it. I think Ethereum is undervalued, even where it's at. I think Solana is undervalued where it's at. I think XRP is comically overvalued. Doesn't make any sense. Never did, never does. I don't expect it to. It's just, yeah. I hope, that's my opinion. I think it'll go higher than where it is, but I would just rather be in something else that's probably going to make me more money. Because it will take a lot of capital to double XRP's price. When I can go buy Landwolf and it doesn't take much money at all for Landwolf to double, triple, 10x. It's easier for Landwolf to 10x than it is for XRP to do a 1.5x. And if XRP is going to double, if you think but XRP is going to double, okay, I think it very well could. I was saying back in the bear market, I thought XRP would probably get to $10, and I still think that. But I still don't want to touch it. And I still sold it $2.70 because I bought it like 32 cents. But if we're living in a world where XRP goes to $7 to $10, well, my Landwolf is gonna like 30x. I'll take the 30x over the 2 to 3. So that's just where I'm sitting. XRP's got less downside volatility. That's valuable. So I don't know. That's why it's like, it's all just opinion and what's best for each person. What's best for me very well may not be what's best for you. For many of you, it's not. And I could still be wrong. I could always be wrong. You could always be wrong. Anybody can always be wrong. Here's what we can't be wrong about. Over time, Bitcoin's only going to go higher. That's the only thing I know for sure. That's the only thing in all of crypto I know for sure, is that Bitcoin is going to go higher over time. That's the only thing I know for sure. Thoughts on Near? Wouldn't touch it. I like Benjamin too. He's not boring. He's very realistic. Since when is realisticness not boring? I mean, there's nothing, he's pretty monotone, and that's what I mean. So there's not really any entertainment going on there at all. There's no clickbait, there's no shit like that. I just mean, he's, to most people, way too boring, way too, realistic, way too database, because they don't want that. They want the emotional dopamine juice, even if they won't fucking say it or admit it. Can you talk about the pros and cons of ETH inflation? It's really not a factor, because there isn't really ETH inflation. In ETH, when the Ethereum network is getting used enough, it's actually deflationary, right? When it's not getting used much, then it inflates. But it's such a low rate. ETH inflation is not something to even think about at all, because it doesn't really exist. Render. So I hope that answers your question. Like that's not something to even throw into your considerations, in my opinion, I guess. Render coin partner with NVIDIA and Apple. Surely it's worth it. No. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't know. I haven't tracked it in a bit. Maybe it is. Fuck, I've been wrong plenty of times. I haven't looked that close at it. It just doesn't get me that excited, because like, I feel like the most hyped up days of Render are kind of behind it. Now Render needs to actually generate more revenue. And I think that, because it really capitalized on the AI movement. You know what I mean? And we still have AI. AI is going to keep growing, but the market understands AI more now, what it is and what it isn't. And Render wanted to be kind of a network for renting and borrowing GPUs to use AI, right? It's like an energy broker network, really, it's like a middleman between sellers and buyers, really renters and rentees of GPU power. Ooh, I really gotta go to the bathroom. Uh-oh. I'm gonna have to end the stream in a second. All this coffee getting to me. All right, y'all. Be sure to follow me on here. Yeah, I gotta get going, because I gotta go. I'll be doing more lives from here.